Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Misscliks D&D Seaborn. A lot of you are entering the cave.
We were just talking about how the last time that Jen tried to save Orion from falling, it didn't go very well, so she got a little spooked.
Yeah, that's what I told Anna as soon as they break it. I was like, should I really save Orion? Last time I did try to save one. We were also fighting a dragon. He was also falling. I tried to catch him. Then we both died. And we had a wish ring, so we came back to life, and then we died later. But now we don't have a wish ring. So I figured I'm just sad. But
I love the idea of Dark Albert like going to catch Ryan and then like something deep, like some instinct deep inside just tells him not to from a past life.
He's an evil character anyway, so it just makes sense. He's like, should I? Nah.
I'll miss Ryan.
Me too. It's okay.
Very
I'll get
well.
a new Ryan. I'll get a henchman and I will call him Ryan. I'll call him Ryan as well.
Alright. You guys have entered this cave. It is
Yeah.
dark. It is pitch black.
But it's probably fine.
It's probably fine. Darkness never hurt anyone.
Yeah.
It's your old friend.
Hello, darkness, my old
Here
friend.
we go. You guys have to go pretty far in to get to the warm spot. But you can't see anything.
Can I see?
You can see when you're closer to the front because the low light vision works more like the infravision is a low light vision. So if there's a source of light, even if it's dim, you can see. But when it's pitch black, it doesn't help. And this far into the cave, it is pitch black.
All right. I'm opening up one of my last torches.
All right. You light one of your last torches.
I have one left after this.
Shadows spring onto the walls. You can see the charred sections where the trolls were burned. And looking around, you see that little hole way off to the side that leads towards all the snowballs.
We ended up plugging that hole, if I remember right, yes?
What'd you plug it with?
Dirt.
All right. You see that the hole has been dug out and it's
I
no
don't
longer
like
plugged with
this.
dirt.
We should get rid of these pesky little creatures. We're already in danger enough with this dragon.
We should fill it with dirt.
I feel we'd be safer if we actually slept in their strongholds after the little hole. Dragon can't get in there.
And Dragon can't get in here.
Neil, is it small enough that he can't get in the cave?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, never mind.
Neil, does Valmont, like Nuns of Valmontarius, do they have any particular views on like non-sentient creatures and the sacredness of life?
Well, it's unjust to kill for no reason. You know?
Okay.
Murder is unjust. Self-defense is one thing, but, you know.
So kobolds are at least semi-sentient, right?
Yeah, they're fully sentient creatures. They're a lower
kind of
life
dumb.
form, and they are dangerous.
I don't think we should allow any danger to arise in this peculiar situation. We shall exterminate the kobolds.
Isn't that welcoming danger? If we simply fill the hole, there will be no danger.
I
No,
agree.
clearly.
I think we fill the hole again.
They can clearly dig it out, as you can see.
That is true. If they do, then we will fight them. And we will fight them in superior territory, for they have to climb out of a hole. And we can be at the top of the hole and hit them with a mace.
All right,
It reminds
now
me of a game that I used to play called Magic Kobold. It was very popular.
Whack a kobold, yes, a snowball.
I have heard of such a game. It sounds very fun.
All right, let's fill up the hole again.
All right, you guys start shoving dirt back in. The torch only lasts for half an hour. You get the hole, shoved in with the fresh soil once more.
Yeah.
Oh, and Feana, could I take a look at the orb? You see, you may not know this, but I have a previous profession that may help me determine the durability of this orb.
What is your previous profession?
Well, you see, way back, when I was a priest in this high temple, I dabbled in pottery, and pottery has many fragile elements. As such, I should be able to tell how careful we need to be in handling this orb.
I am very careful. No worries.
As well as your captain and superior high priest, I would ask to carry the orb.
No, thank you.
That is not a request.
You are not my superior, but thank you.
Oh, Albert goes like, ooh. It's actually a sound he's making.
I see. I say.
Before the torch gets lit, wait, I need to check my spell before I cast it so that it's not a waste. How long does... Oh, it doesn't last very long. Crap, I'm so sad. Never.
As well, I am afraid to say this, but during our descent, how much longer do you think we'll need to get to the bottom, by the way, Neil?
You could probably make it the next day.
I am afraid that in order to raise our combat, if the dragon should attack us again, I will not be able to prepare the sun.
But I felt it was a very good initial casting spell with the blinding.
No, I mean, I will not be able to prepare a source of heat for us.
Ah!
So bear with it for a day.
Okay. I'll prepare my spells accordingly.
And Albert, a word, if I could.
Sure. Always. And then I say, Captain. As I walk away.
While the torch is still lit, I talk to Albert off to the side.
What the two of you say.
I sent her a message.
Where did you send it to me? On Slack?
Yeah, on side. Or no, on Zoom.
On Zoom. You may have just sent it to everyone though.
Nope.
Oh.
Next PM.
And without further ado, let us rest for the night and make sure that we are prepared to fight a dragon should we need to.
I'm trying to... I thought I had a spell that could help me know, like, listen in on that. But I can't find it. I just don't want the time to go by and to redo it.
Right.
I guess I can't.
Did you not have it memorized for the day?
Yeah, I guess not.
All right. You guys go to sleep. Oh, I guess everyone goes to sleep except for Temriel. Temriel, you just have some meditation to do for a few hours, right?
That's right.
Okay.
No, I don't go to bed. I pretend to go to bed.
You don't go to sleep? If you don't go to sleep, you can't cast spells.
Well, I'll go to bed after, but I just want to do something once I think everyone's...
Sure. All right, so everyone...
Skeletons don't have dark vision, do they?
No.
Okay.
When I go to sleep, like with the orb still in my cloak and my arms around it.
Right, kind of curling up with it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so adorable.
Yeah.
Does it radiate any heat, or is it still just metal, basically?
Glass.
Glass.
Yeah. All right.
I go to sleep closer to Fehana.
So, Neil.
Yes, Dark Albert.
After let's say 30 minutes, I just relax and I'm not falling asleep yet.
Mm-hmm.
I will first off cast darkness. No. I will creep towards Fehana? Yes.
Question mark?
Yes.
Okay.
I was making sure about the name.
So...
Using my thief abilities.
Right. You can't see Fehana.
So there's no more torch? And
No, the torch is burned out. Now, you have a general idea of where she was when the light was on, and you probably talked when it was dark.
Yeah.
So you have a general idea of where she is. But I just want to let you know that you don't have an exact location. So how do you plan to find her in the darkness?
So I'm thinking of crawling on all fours.
Okay.
And just like, really slowly like putting my arm forward because I'm expecting a body at some point. And
Right. Okay.
If there's nothing, I just put my arm and then I'm, like you can be very, very graceful doing that.
Nice. All right, you can find her.
Okay, as soon as I find her, did I see her like in her crawly position with the orb? I guess it's not that hard to figure out, right?
No, like you find her foot, and then you gently kind of see if you can bump
And
into
I
the
don't
rest
wake
of
up?
her. That's the question. Now, if someone
I feel
bumps
the
you while
foot-
you're sleeping, there's a good chance you're going to wake up if you're not expecting it. It's one thing if you're like cuddling with a significant other. It's another thing if you're lying on the ground and someone comes up and touches you.
Especially if you're suspicious that that's going to happen.
Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Fehana a perception check to see if she wakes up.
But like it's in the dark, and technically I would use pickpockets, right?
Right. Well, it's not about the darkness. It's because she's asleep, right? It could be bright daylight, and she wouldn't.
But like I didn't even try to steal the orb yet, and I just barely touched her feet, so I feel it's not.
Yeah, I think I get a chance every time I get touched.
No, I'm gonna give you one chance when she's going over, unless she does something like big. If she like gently touches your ankle and you don't wake up, and she's taking her time, she can like maybe barely touch you. But if you don't wake from the initial gentle touch, you're probably not gonna wake up from the something else, unless there's like she rips the orb out of your hands or something.
So my plan is to use pickpocket's ability to try to actually switch, because I have a crystal prism. So
Yeah,
I'm
your
thinking
prism
of
is
just,
small. It's for read magic. It's a small prism that it's not an orb. It's not ball shaped.
Okay. So I have nothing ball shaped.
You have two things that are ball shaped.
What? Except my balls.
There you go.
Thanks. What if I just like curl up like a piece of cloth to just like?
You want to do Indiana Jones?
Yeah, it's fun.
All right. First off, Fehana, give me a perception check.
Is it worse to like switch out the item, or is it worse to just pick an item?
That's what you got to decide on your own.
Fuck it, I'll just pick the item. I'm not switching the item. I don't care. So what's the check?
First off, she makes a perception check. So when you find her and you're like getting closer and trying to figure out where her location is and like gently touching her to
She
figure
didn't get
her location,
disadvantage for like sleeping or anything.
she wakes up. If you were just making noise, I wouldn't give her a perception check, or I would give it with a disadvantage. But when she's going to sleep, slightly suspicious, as she said, and you're, and someone's touching you, you wake up.
Because like technically pickpockets, they don't even get like a check except if I fail my pickpockets.
Right, but this is different. You can't. This is completely different from pickpockets.
All right.
So I wake up.
Yeah, you stir. There's a bumping against your leg. That's
I jump up and punch wildly into the air.
You miss everything.
What happens to the orb when she punches up? Because she was.
It's in my pocket. I'm just curled around it, so it's fine.
I thought it was not in your pocket. It's in your pocket. Okay.
I wouldn't do anything to jeopardize holding onto the orb. I wouldn't be like, gee, I'm protecting this orb. I better jump up and punch and let it fly across the room.
By the way, how big is this orb? I forgot.
Can I?
Are we talking bowling ball, baseball?
No, like a big bocce ball, maybe? That's like a little bit bigger than a bocce ball.
Yeah, that doesn't help. I don't know what a bocce ball is.
Like a croquet size ball.
What happens if I try to pickpocket her now? It's in the dark.
Well, you can't really see her.
Yeah, you're right. That doesn't work. Alright, guess I'll just like tumble away in a stylish fashion.
I yell, "Who was that? Who tried to touch me while sleeping?"
Everyone wakes up now.
I use move silently to change position so that she doesn't know that I changed position, and I go back into my original one.
I say some sort of like detailed curse for people who take advantage of other people while they're sleeping. And then I say, "I did not know I was surrounded by untrustworthy perverts."
What are you talking about?
Now, Albert, what were you trying to do to her while she was sleeping?
What? What are you saying? I was nearly sleeping here. What happened, Fehana? Tell us. Is it a kobold? Is there kobolds here?
I just sit in the corner.
Should I open my torch? Should I open my torch, guys? Is it a kobold?
You said, Trellis, you said you went to sleep nearby me, right?
Yeah.
I just kind of like, can I see Trellis or sense whether she's still there? You know?
Can't see her. And if she's not saying anything, you have no idea where she is.
Do I have any, can I roll a perception check to see if I have any idea who it is that touched me?
There's no way you would know. You just felt something brushing your leg.
So, like, it could be a kobold.
I just think I know it's not a kobold, and I just sink into sullen silence and sit with my knees up against my chest, staring into the darkness, awake.
Well, then if it's not a kobold, I'm going back to sleep. Good night, everyone. I need my sleeping time to get my spells.
Yes, please save your exclamations for only if there is dire concern. Some of us need to regain their spells.
Alright, good night, everyone.
You guys all drift off to sleep, except for Temriel, who's in some sort of meditative trance, trying to commune with his deity. All right. I would like all of you to make me perception checks at -5.
Now we don't have Ryan.
Oh,
Or
dang.
Albert does
I'm
not
super
notice it.
perceptive.
Albert in his one eye.
Wow. All right, so you guys are all asleep. Fehana, this is most appropriate for you anyway. You slowly drift off back to sleep in the warm darkness, only to be awoken by this kind of gentle, very soft glow, and the sounds of just quiet whispers. As you open your eyes, you can see what appears to be a party of 4 snowballs. One of them has a little staff that's got some sort of glowing moss tucked in the top of it that he's carrying around, and the whole group of 4 are slowly creeping towards the 4 of you. You don't see any weapons in their hands, but they're inching their way silently, just...
We don't understand what they're saying, right?
Well, you're asleep.
Oh.
Only
I-
Fehana wakes up.
I cast telepathy on what looks like the leader.
So that would be the one with the staff, or... Give me a charisma check to see if you can correctly determine the leader.
I like this.
Oh, charisma. I meant to roll. So that's +3, 18. Or
So Nate,
19.
that's still a fail. You don't know which one's the leader. So you can just pick one at random, or you can, say the one with the staff.
I picked the one with the staff.
Okay. So you begin to cast telepathy. That requires somatic and verbal components, so it's going to be obvious to them that you are casting a spell. So they're a little surprised by the casting of your spell. Can you roll me initiative against them? See if you can finish it before they get a chance to do anything.
Oh, dang. That's a 5. Didn't think that through.
All right. So you start casting the spell. They give a little shriek. I think everyone else in the party wakes up now, and these snowballs are shrieking, and Behana's casting a spell. And they immediately start scurrying back to their tunnel, and one after another crawls in and starts moving through, but before they can all make it through, you get your spell off. Everyone else is waking up with a start. What does telepathy do?
It establishes a direct two-way mental contact between the priest and a single subject. The subject must have intelligence of at least 5 for the spell to take effect. While the spell is in effect, the 2 participants can communicate silently and rapidly, regardless of whether they share a common language.
Ah. All right. So you can communicate telepathically and rapidly. On a unwilling, it gets a saving throw versus spell, which it fails. All right. So you may now communicate telepathically with the snowbold who's carrying the staff, who is the last one to go into the tunnel.
I just ask, what were you doing, my friend?
Oh my God! Who's in my mind? How can you hear? What?
Be still. I am a friend.
It stops before it gets a chance to crawl through the tunnel and turns around looking at the rest of you guys. Its eyes are wide. The rest of the party's waking up. You've got no idea that there's a telepathic link going on. All you see is this snowbold with a staff that's got all this phosphorescent moss in it looking at you guys from its position by the tunnel.
I tell it telepathically. We mean you no harm, but what were you...
I raise my mace at it.
Can I get the rest of the party to roll initiative while they're waking up? Continue, Fehana.
I walk over toward it. I'm like gonna put myself between it and
Okay.
in the party.
So the party does see Fehana very cavalierly walking towards the critter.
Oh, I'm on +7.
And you say you meant no harm.
Mm-hmm.
Followed by.
I say, do everything I say, and the others will not hurt you. When I approach you, make a little bow.
All right. The creature does. It gives you a bow. The rest of the party, so you're waking up to the screams of these snowballs. They run, they go for their little tunnel, they start crawling through. The last one stops, turns around as Fehana walks towards it, just bows to her. What are your actions? I know Temriel's got his mace out. V looks like she's drawn her bow and put an arrow in it. V, you go first. What do you do?
All right. I shoot it with my bow.
What?
Give me a roll to hit.
You saw it bow to me?
What?
Even after you saw it bow to me?
Okay,
Aren't you in
never
the-
mind. I hold off for now, but I have my bow ready.
All right, you've got an arrow aimed at it.
I'm just kind of like waiting for it to do something. But like I'm like drawn, but not all the way back. So I'm like,
All right, Dark Albert.
I draw my bow and arrow, and as a magic caster, can I guess that this is like something's weird's going on?
No.
Is she in the way of me aiming for the little guy? She said she moves in the way.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. You could easily move out of the way, but also you didn't roll initiative for a bow and arrow. You rolled initiative for something else.
I said I wanted to do +7 and I messed
Oh,
up.
okay. I'm sorry. I didn't quite hear you.
So should I wait a bit?
No, you still go before Temriel. You have your bow drawn.
I'm gonna do a perception check to know if I can pick up on the situation. How about that? Like, see that there was a bow going on and that it's kind of weird.
Well, you do see that the one is bowing to the other, and Fehana
He's
seems pretty
bowing
chill
to
with the kobold.
Okay, then I'll say, Fehana, tell me now what's going on, or else I will kill this kobold right now. And then I hold action.
I turn to them and I look like regally down upon them, and I say, I am Fehana, ruler of this realm. Dragons bow to my whim, and the kobolds
I
bow
let
to
the
me.
arrow.
Roll to hit.
That sounds like crap.
Was that mentally or like vocally?
I said that vocally.
Ah,
So what would be my thing? I haven't shoot an arrow in forever.
You shoot it at me.
D20 plus no, at the kobold.
The kobold's behind me.
Yeah, but Neil said I can like.
Yeah, she can move out of the. There's enough of an angle that she can move to the
14.
side. You hit the snowbold with an arrow. Please roll for damage.
I'm so sad. I wish to know what he would say, but I feel that Dark Albert would shoot. Oh, D6. Oh, I'm so sad. I want to know what he wanted.
The snowbold is impaled, collapses to the ground. The staff falls from his trembling fingers. Behana, in your mind, you hear, "I trusted you!" as its final thoughts.
I'm sad.
And it lies there, bleeding.
Oh, is it dead?
It's got an arrow through it.
Is the staff still emanating light?
Yeah, it's moss. It's like a staff in the shape of what looks to be like a lizard's mouth, and they just like stuck some phosphorescent moss in there.
Fehana takes a very deep breath. She looks super angry and she like doesn't take her eyes off of Dark Albert as she picks up the torch and just like takes a deep breath to steady herself while she thinks about what she's going to do about that.
I say, he seemed menacing. You didn't tell me he was safe, so I just assumed I would ease up on the situation. I mean, 3 people ambushing us at night.
It must have been like.
Sorry about you being a ruler. That's all fine and dandy.
It must have been the creature that awoke you earlier.
Probably. He was probably trying to get the orb from you. So,
Kobolds love shiny objects.
What were you saying about you being almighty?
I turn to Trellis and I say, "These two, they are evil, no?"
Neutral evil.
I would say they have good intentions 50% of the time.
I should ask the same to you. Are you evil, Fehana? What do you intend to do with the orb? Why are you keeping it from us?
Because I do not trust you after you gunned down an innocent creature who has surrendered.
You did not trust us before we did that. Before he did.
You are correct. I did not trust you, and my trust was founded.
I do not trust you either. But perhaps we could establish some trust, and this is long overdue, by me reading your thoughts. I believe that is necessary after you introduced me as an acolyte. You clearly are not.
I never said I was an
apprentice.
Why are you saying that I killed a kobold that surrendered? He was not in surrendering posture. He did not tell me not to shoot. You didn't tell me not to shoot him. You were just talking about your status.
Do you not think bowing is a position of surrender?
No, he was maybe starting to charge. You know how cats do it, right? Kind of go like this, and then they get their...
I think someone was just trigger happy.
And then they kind of go like this, and then BAM! Kobold attack! I know how it goes. I've had my fair share of kobold fights in the past. Didn't you, Temriel?
It's true. It is a reason why the sport became known as Whacker Kobold. Nothing good can come of kobolds.
They are evil beings.
I cast Wyvern Watch around myself.
Ooh.
Nice.
Let's take a look at Wyvern Watch. This spell, known as Wyvern Watch, becomes up to 8 hours. Any creature approaching within 10 feet of the guarded area may be affected by the Wyvern. Okay, cool.
And I let Trellis be inside that Wyvern Watch.
All right, so you and Trellis are inside this Wyvern Watch. The rest of you can barely make out. I guess Dark Albert has a good chance of making it because he's an elf, so you've got infravision. You can see very well in this low light, but Temriel can barely see this. There's a thin mist kind of fills this area around Behana and Trellis.
I kind of look at it as I'm just kind of observing what it is around us.
Yeah, it's
Not
this weird.
like I'm content.
It's this
I'm not like
strange,
bothered by it.
strange mist in the shape of a wyvern that's just kind of like hovering over the two of you.
I approach Trellis and I say, "We're safe from the others. I must speak with you."
Yes. What is
I
it?
would like to read on lips. Yeah.
I kind of like know how the others are anyways, but like I
And
just
walk up to the two of them since she
Hold on, she
cast
was in the
this
middle of
spell.
saying something. What were
Oh.
you saying?
Oh, I said I just kind of turn away from them as Fayana comes up to me.
And I also walk up. What is this thing around them?
Do you touch it?
No.
It's this gray mist that kind of covers their area. You can't see much because it's only like glowing moss and pitch black. So all you can see is that there's some sort of mist surrounding them.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
I completely ignore him.
I
I read
also
lips.
completely ignore them because I
I
don't know
read
what's
lips.
going on anyways.
Fayana and Trellis, what would you like to do? And Dark Albert, why don't you roll to me in secret a reading lips proficiency check?
So I do the D20 plus the check, correct?
Yeah, but it should be a /GR instead of just R. And
I'll
that'll
do
send
it first test, okay?
I look at Fayana. I would be careful. They have ways of listening in. If you have something private to say.
I speak quietly and I mimic her posture of turning away from them after I see that she thinks that's the best thing to do. And I ask her,
I will go around them. I don't care. I will get into a right angle for seeing their lips.
All right, give me a read lips proficiency check there, Jen. They are actively trying to avoid you, so I'm going to give you like a -4 on it.
But I'm also not trying to
Yes.
be sneaky, so I will
Okay.
like dance around.
Okay.
I ask Trellis, I say, "I sense that you are not like the others and that there is deep pain in you connected to them. What has happened?"
Well, I didn't start with these two.
I'm assuming that we don't hear them.
They're whispering to one another.
Ah,
And I'm
Oh.
blatantly trying to read lips. I'm like,
I didn't start with them at all, but when I did find them, we had another friend, and she actually did most of the fighting with me. As you know, this group doesn't fight very much or very well. So, unfortunately, though, she did die in battle, and Temriel over there wanted to turn her into a walking corpse for his pleasure to use to fight, and that did not sit well with me. I have the ashes in a like bottle or whatever around my neck, so I kind of like show it to her. Like, this is what is left of my friend that I have scattered as we have gone. She is the truest one that I found on the journey with them, and what kept me with that group. But since she has passed, I am kind of just going along, hoping that this is the right direction, but I don't truly know. I can't say I truly know their intentions.
This sounds like a very dark evil to me.
He says that they work for good, but I don't know. You know, I try to find the best in people, and I think it's important to those who have good hearts to take care of them. But those with evil, I have no problem with taking them down.
I think you are wise. I must ask you, Neil, there's a name for like the group of people that's being hunted for letting go the red dragon, right?
I don't know if they have a specific, like, this group of people.
Do they know the name of the dragon? Like,
Yeah, Brimstone, Fire Incarnate. You would know that.
Okay, so I say, are you those who freed Brimstone, the Fire Incarnate?
Well, we didn't try to free anything. But yes, I guess we would be considered that group.
For what reason did you do this thing?
Well, we were supposed to take him out, and it didn't quite work out that way. We don't have... Apparently, we need that orb that you have to take him out. He's evil. I don't truly know. I just know what I've heard.
The reason for the orb is to recapture Brimstone?
As far as I know, yes.
Well, this is a reason I can get behind. And I put my hand on her shoulder and I say, I feel trust for you, Trellis. Do you feel trust for me?
Well, I do a bit, but I don't exactly know you, but I can tell your heart seems pure. So as far as what we've done so far, yes. And I also feel very bad for you dealing with some of the things you've dealt with in this group so far.
So then...
You were a trooper.
I will be honest with you, Trellis. I was sent by the nuns of Valmontarius not only to find the orb, but to make sure that those who freed Brimstone the Fire Incarnate and wanted to rain chaos down on our realm were brought to justice. But I trust what you say, that this was not done purposefully. However, I do not trust those two.
Yes, I can understand that. You have much reason not to trust those two. I know they are selfish. I don't think they mean us any harm, but yes, they are selfish.
An artifact of such power should not be in the hands of such people, and they are trying to steal it from me.
They just don't know you yet, but if what you say is true, which I do believe you, and you can handle the orb, which I had a feeling there was something more to you than that, then I agree you should hold on to it.
You are very wise. Will you help me keep it from those two?
Yes, I will.
Good. I shake her hand.
I shake back.
I'm glad to have a teammate, Trellis. And then I leave the Wyvern Watch up and I just kind of go stand on the other side of it and not quite make faces, but just kind of observe Dark Albert and Temriel on the other side of it.
I slightly giggle at this, but holding my hand over my mouth.
In the meantime, I will, I imagine Albert, have you been trying to listen in on their conversation the whole time, or can I pull you aside?
No, so the whole time you see me and if you approach me, I'm and after that, as they're doing little faces, I go up to you and then I whisper to you 70% of the things you said. So I'm giving you the general idea. So I'm basically, they don't trust us, especially you, because you tried to make our dead friend, the cow. You tried. I know it's very velvet, but the cow. You tried to make her your pet slave, so she doesn't like this. So she doesn't. And then
I love how Dark Albert has no concept of why that's so horrible. Just she didn't like that for some reason.
What does that mean, Albert? All I wish to do was to continue her desire for combat.
I agree with you. She has a twisted perception of reality. She doesn't think like us, logical beings.
I'm not sure we can trust such an individual. Wait,
I'm not done telling you the story.
Oh.
But wait, there's more. Also, the other one, the nun, she also doesn't trust us because she doesn't like our evil attitude. But
wait, that was Trellis.
But we should rally under our common goal, which is to get Brimstone back into the orb. And that is all we need to rely on. So we should really talk about that as a team.
We should discuss this as a team.
Yes. At least we have a common goal. So this should keep us united. They did not want us to have the orb, by the way. She wants to hold on to it.
How can we trust her? She is the newest addition to this team, and what a mistake it was to bring her on.
She's a nun of Valmontarius. She probably wants to do the right thing. Those people that kind of have just one way of thinking. They don't really see the big picture. And I think we can have her hold on to the orb, and if she dies, we'll just pick it back up, right?
Well, that is acceptable to me as long as I find out for sure that she is seeking to trap the dragon.
We can have a
And
discussion.
not to run away with the orb. For if we were to lose the orb, we would lose all hope of trapping the dragon.
Correct. We should probably pretend like I didn't pick up on the conversation. They don't know I can read lips. With a high proficiency.
Nonsense. I will confront them in the morning.
Well, then you tell them that you read their lips.
Hmm.
So, what was that thing about telling her I was the one trying to pickpocket her? You sent me to do your dirty bidding.
I did not suggest that you were trying to pickpocket her. I suggested that you were trying to do less savory things with her.
Well, that's not my style. I'm not interested in.
I know, but
That would be the word.
you see, that is called an excuse.
Stuck up nuns. That's the word. Stuck up nuns. That can't even say orb, for God's sake. Alright.
Wyvern Watch lasts for 8 hours, right, Neil?
Oh yeah.
I sleep behind it.
Okay.
I sleep next to it.
So, the rest of the night passes. I think you all get some decent sleep because it's so dark, but it's a light sleep. It's enough to cast spells, but you wake up and you are... No, it's been an awkward night. You guys wake up at some point, not necessarily with daybreak, but you wake up after having rested for a long time in this dark, warm place. There's just enough light from the moss that's on the other side of the staff for you guys to see.
Now, before we continue our journey, we have some matters of business to settle.
Wait, as they wake up, I would like to try to get a better tone for the group, and I will start playing the bongos lightly.
The bongos that you have
used
from
to
Bruno?
have bongos from Bruno. So I go like, "Good morning, honeys. How was your wyvern sleep?"
Oh my gosh.
Now, I need to know that our interests are all in alignment. I've told you that I wish to trap Brimstone, the fire incarnate, in that orb. I cannot fully trust a new member to do that.
I think
Can
she's
you
fine
assure
to
me
hold
that
on
you are
to it.
trying to accomplish the same goal as all of us? Vehana.
You have not told me that you wanted to capture Brimstone, the fire incarnate.
Why do you think we came here to get this orb?
For power? That seems to be what you are interested in.
I kind of go back in my memory. I could have sworn I said this. I don't say this out loud, but did we not cover this?
I don't know. Could be Fehana has a bad memory. I don't know.
Okay. I'm
But
pretty
I
sure
don't
we did.
remember it.
Well, again, I remind you that was our stated goal. We came here to get the orb in order to entrap Brimstone the Fire Incarnate, a terrible side effect of what I was trying to do, and a great shame.
How did Brimstone, the fire incarnate, come to be freed from his original prison?
As a cleric of Tempos, my goal is to make sure that the world flows in its natural order. What we were trying to do was to stop a wizard from dominating this dragon. From what I understand, this wizard had a very powerful artifact on him, which fell into the hands of Brimstone, which Brimstone was able to use to get out of the prison.
Yes,
So while we stopped the wizard from controlling the dragon's body, Barthas, we did not know that his way of doing it was through a way that the dragon could escape. And so now we seek to remedy our error and to trap Brimstone.
Well, I mean, the good surprise here is that, let's say we did let the events unfold and did not try to interrupt it. we would still have had an escaped brimstone on our hands because the wizard was gonna take control of brimstone. So,
But much worse that Barthas, much better that the dragon be let free than Barthas be let free.
I agree. Barthas was a political, evil, scheming man with big plans. The red dragon is like just a dragon, right?
Our goals then are similar, and
Well,
I
then,
agree that we shall imprison Brimstone, the fire incarnate. However, after that, I must return the orb to the nuns of Valmontarius. Agreed?
Well, after we loot the dragon's den, sure.
what if there were an even greater threat that we learned of after we imprisoned the dragon? Perhaps we would have another need for the orb. Why is the orb safer with them than with us?
Because you have already freed one of the most terrible monsters in our realm. I do not trust you, and I do not think you are as capable as you think you are.
Well, you know, freed is a relative term. As I said, if we did not intervene, he would have been freed anyway.
I don't.
No.
If you want to use the orb again, you will simply petition the nuns of Valmontarius if we can use it again.
I do not really trust the nuns of Valmontarius. After all, any commoner could have climbed up this mountain and just simply taken the orb if they knew we're here.
Even Ryan could have done it, for God's sake.
And they called this the most protected place?
And yet
We
none
cannot
of you
trust the
found
nuns
it.
of Valmontarius.
And yet none of you found it except the nun of Valmontarius.
We would have,
I
given
don't
enough time.
so, because you all failed your perception checks, and I found it after only looking.
We would have turned this cathedral upside down searching for it.
I
Can
suppose.
I go, well,
I do not deal in hypothetics.
Well,
I think
at
she
least
is
for
fine.
now, if what you say is true, our goals align. Now, you have led me very little reason to trust you at this point. So, why don't you simply consent to a small mind reading? I will only ask you about one thing. If you will come with us and use the orb to entrap Brimstone, the fire incarnate, or if need be, you will pass the orb to me to trap Brimstone, the fire incarnate, if that is a better plan. One way or the other, the orb will be used to
Trap.
entrap Brimstone.
Neil, how rude is it to ask to read someone's mind? It's like really rude, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, imagine if I had a way of actually reading your brain, and I mean that's a fairly invasive thing. How would you feel about a random person reading all of your inner thoughts? Maybe not a random person,
He
but
can't.
Trump.
He can't like read my thoughts, right? He can just ask me questions.
Well, I don't know. I don't think you know what spell he's gonna cast. So,
Are you familiar with the spell Mind Read? To you, Fehana.
Are you capable of perceiving truth?
No, not that I am. Not that nothing comes to mind at the moment. Besides, this is a more secure way. For perceiving is not better than knowing.
I do not consent to you mucking around inside my brain when you may have been the one who was touching me while I sleep last night.
That was the kobold. We
No.
saw the kobolds.
It was not the kobold, for I am the master of kobolds, and you saw it bow to me. Do not lie.
Then why don't you perceive my intentions, since you seem to be distrustful of me?
I believe that your intentions are to capture Brimstone, the fire incarnate, and those are also mine. So we move forward.
Well, you can believe that those are my intentions. However, I do not believe that they are your intentions.
Then what good will it do you for me to perceive your intentions?
Because if you knew my goal was to capture Brimstone, the fire incarnate, then you would hand me the orb.
No, because I told you my stipulation is to return it to the nuns of Valmontarius when we are done, and I do not trust that you will do that.
I do not trust that you won't hand the orb off to this kobold. Maybe you are the leader of the kobolds, and maybe you were going to hand the orb off to them so they could hide it away in this mountain.
Good thing I
Why
killed
don't you just consent to a simple mind reading? I will not probe too deeply into your thoughts. I will only ask you one simple question, or I will only look into that one simple detail of whether or not you are coming with us to capture Brimstone.
I do not trust you to do this thing. So you must trust me on my word or not at all.
You guys are ridiculous. Spellcasters. Am I right? And a trellis.
I'll have you know this is quite a mutinous action. You have misrepresented yourself, and you not cede to your wishes of your captain.
I do not count you as my captain.
Technically joined us, but she is correct. You do not preside over her at this moment.
Well,
She has
then...
done nothing wrong, and what did we show her when she first joined our group? You
Then
almost
does that
killed
mean
her.
that
I
we
will-
are...
Almost killed her.
When you came to join the group, your outward facing was far different. You acted as a student. You acted as if this were just an adventure. You were misrepresenting your actions all along. Don't believe her lies, Trellis. What if she is controlling you? What if she is simply going to run away with the orb?
I
She
think
did
by
succeed.
now I have my own free will.
Well, have you ever heard of that spell she casted on the dragon? That was probably the spell.
That's
charm.
right. She ordered that dragon to run away. How do you not know your mind is being controlled right now?
I could cast a simple detect magic to discover if your mind is being read right now. But I am deciding that I should trust your judgment as to if you are being charmed or not.
You're right, you should probably trust my judgment, just like I stayed here even though you tried to mutilate my friend.
Who, me? I didn't try to manipulate anyone. You're
Who,
talking
me?
about the other
You're
one.
lucky I stick around with this group. I'm
Good
obviously
deal.
the backbone of this group, and I trust her. Therefore, I will keep her around. She will stay around.
She's
If you have
charmed.
a problem
isn't she,
with that, you're
Daniel?
more than welcome to leave. And I
I
stay
like-
around at this.
I stand behind her shoulder and nod like, yeah.
So does this mean we do not have any more? We don't have a captain anymore. We're all equal partners in this.
We were always all equal partners of this.
Oh.
No, we were not. Say it, dead
I
tone.
look at him.
I look back. We have a stare down.
Who wins the stare down? Roll for it.
No, I always win. I don't blink.
Well, yes. I still stare pretty hard.
That's true. Winning a staring contest with a skeleton that has no eyes is pretty difficult.
Well, I hope you are all ready for the trek down, and you are all prepared if the dragon should attack us again. I know I have some tricks up my sleeve this time.
Me too.
That's good. We can be prepared. I don't
As
mind
an
that she sent him
individual-
off because now we'll be more prepared this time.
As an individual party member with no captain, I am ready. I mean, if nobody has a captain, might as well have one for me, right? I can be my own captain. Captain Albert is back.
I think it's more important that everybody pull their weight. And I give everybody a look.
Captain Albert is back.
I like how Albert's just like muttering to himself, like, yes, Captain Albert is back. Yes. Should we? I mean, I think that's a good place to take our break, huh?
All right. See you guys on the other side of our break.